Hey, what's going on, people? Hold on, just bear with me. I'm gonna flip this. There we go. I have a bad habit of looking on this side when I should be looking at that side when this camera's flipped over, but this is a lot better view. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Crazy One from C1 Radio. A much calmer Crazy One. If you saw my last scope, you know I had to take some time and I had to calm down. First off, I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Periscopes, especially when we do the artist tips and the new music scopes. Trust me, guys. ST Alien, man, where have you been? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. I want to say thank you to all of you guys who have been with me from day one, from Scope 1, from New Music Show 1, or from the first time that you came in to the very next time. There's a lot of people who don't miss these things. And I want to say thank you to you guys. And let me tell you that it's going to get bigger and it's going to get better. Just trust me on this one. We are in the midst of something super huge. I can't even reveal it yet. Y'all just pray for us. But something has come from doing these Periscopes. But shout out to everybody who stuck with us. Guys, you know the drill. As always, share this joint out. Smash the hearts if you like the info that I'm giving. This one's going to be brief because it is kind of late, and I know a lot of people are heading to bed and all that good stuff. Unless you're further out west, which you're still up and lively. It's around like 7:30 there. So, and guys, also forgive me if I have one of those moments. I chipped a tooth. I gotta go to the dentist, and I keep biting my tongue with a chipped tooth. It hurts. It hurts real bad. Yeah. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Okay, so let's get this joint started. So the name of the scope is my album comes out this Friday, and I'm seeing this from a lot of people, and I'm seeing it from a lot of people who I have never seen or heard anything from. People want to have a release date. People want to have a launch party. People want to have a release concert. People want to have all these things. But there's one thing that is always missing with a lot of independent artists titles when they launch, is that they don't do the proper promotion. And tonight we want to talk about doing the proper promotion. If your album drops whatever Friday, I say this Friday because this is the tagline that a lot of people use. My album drops this Friday. And I normally see that and I'm like, wait a minute. Your album drops this Friday. I haven't gotten a music submission. Nobody sent me a new single. What's going on? So I'm going to give you a few keys to help you, a few points to help you have a successful launch day. Blame J. Cole. I know some J. Cole. Listen, let me first say this, all right? Unless you have sold at least 100 million records or units in your career, you cannot drop an album unannounced and expect it to do well. All right? I'm going to say that one more time. Unless you have sold 100 million units in your career, you cannot expect to drop an unexpected album and be successful. All right? Lecrae can do that because Lecrae is our top guy right now in CHH. He is our top guy. So if Lecrae just says, hey, yeah, I just dropped a joint, he can do that. He may have not sold 100 million units, okay? But, no, I meant that in a bad way. No, but still, Lecrae can do that. 28,000 units in gospel is really good right now, especially in hip-hop. It's really good. And especially to do that with no promotion. He did it with no promotion. I'm just saying. He pulled a Beyonce and he got 28,000 units. That's not bad. I bet you anybody that's in this Periscope right now will drop something on a Friday unannounced, no promotion, no nothing, done in secret, and let's see if y'all get 100 units sold. Let's just be real about it, okay? 28,000 units is not a bad haul for an unpromoted, unannounced Beyonce-ish, Drake-ish project. All right, but I want to keep this on a practical level, because we're not dealing with a Lecrae here. We're not dealing with a Beyonce or a Drake. We're not going to just, we're not talking about people dumping out albums just because I want to dump out an album and I want to see what the reaction's going to be. All right, we ain't got the budget for that, and they got the budget to fail. If they failed on that joint, well, next time we'll promote it. We tried it, whatever. But I bet you the next albums won't be not promoted. I'll put it out like that. Okay, so let's go with the points. So if you want a successful Friday drop, because we all know that music comes out on Friday now and not Tuesdays, to meet the international standards, so all the numbers can come in at the same time. So that's a new initiative that happened as of this summer. So if you're dropping a album, first off, do not drop an album on a day other than Friday. I see some people doing Monday releases, Tuesday releases, and stuff like that. You will hurt yourself, okay? The reason why you will hurt yourself, because if your album is tracked by the right people, which I mean BDS, SoundScan, Nielsen, BMI, ASCAP, and all that stuff. If your stuff is being tracked by the official trackers and you try to drop your stuff on a Monday or Tuesday or any other day of the week other than Friday, it will count against you in the numbers. All right, you want to make sure that you have the same 7 days that everybody else has to drop their album. I don't care if we're trying to be different. Don't try to be so different that you hurt yourself trying to buck the system. All right, so that's number one. Launch days for albums are on Friday. Keep it to Friday. All right, do yourself a favor and build your numbers up properly. All right, now, how do we do that? How do we make sure that we're building up our numbers properly? Well, there's a couple of ways you can do that. One, you want to start a campaign. How do you start a campaign? Easy. The first thing that you do is put out a good single. Notice I said good single. All right. Don't go trying to put out, this is the song that speaks to me the most. And no, put out something that people will like, that people will enjoy. I know in a lot of times in the gospel arena, people like to put out ballads. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. If your voice is one of those voices that will captivate the whole world when you open up your mouth, then it's probably a good thing for you to put out a ballad. All right. There are people who do it and have successful runs at it. But most singles that you need to put out before your album need to be something that people can sing along to. Whether it be a praise and worship song, whether it be a hip-hop song, it has to be something with a nice hook. It's got to be easy on the ears, and it's got to be something that will stick into people's mind. It would have to be so good it annoys people, because I'm like, God, I can't get that song out of my head. You want that reaction. TQ had posted up something today because something had reminded her of something and the song was in her head and she couldn't get it out of the head, so she just had to go ahead and play it on the radio, and then she went and posted about it. That's the kind of reaction that you want to somebody's single. All right, or that's the kind of reaction you want to your single. So make sure that no matter what genre you're in, it doesn't matter if you're in hip-hop, doesn't matter if you're in praise and worship, it doesn't matter if you're in the screaming quartet. All right, you just have to make sure that it's something that people will recognize, something that people will get with, and something that people can sing along, because sing-along songs are the songs that people remember the most when they're buying music and when they're listening to music. If you don't believe me, look at all the nonsense that's happening on the secular side right now. You're getting all the easiest hooks, all the simplest beats, and because I can dance to it and because I can sing the hook in the car, I want that joint. It sticks in my head. That's how it works. Okay. Next, is when you're releasing your single, you want to release your single in enough time so that people can get it in their heads. Most singles that come out there from major artists, no matter who they are, all right, most major artists, they put out a single somewhere in between 3 and 6 months of the album. I want to give you a classic case. Group Virtue. Virtue hadn't did anything in about 10 years. Okay? They had their name intact. They have, their legacy from the hits that they made back in the day. And what they did was they said, okay, we're going to give you something that you remember. Something that we just kind of redid and remastered from one of our older albums, which was You Are. So they took You Are, they put it out there. They left it out there for gospel radio to play for an entire year. Okay? That was just to announce that we're back. So we redid a song, and we want to play it. We want to send it out to gospel radio. We want to put it out there for iTunes. All right? People bought it. People were happy they were back. And that song went out for an entire year on gospel radio. We still have it on C1 Radio right now. Then they said, okay, so we did something old. Now let's do something brand new. So they put out Walk It Out. They put it out around a year after they put out You Are. And they let that song rock for an entire year. An entire year. Okay? When they did that, people was like, okay, I'm feeling that. And some people was like, I don't know, kind of, whatever. But they let that single rock for an entire year. So now we played this. They put out another single. Well, Stellars was in February. They put out another single in January called Miracles. We debuted it on a new music screening show. People was like, they're trying to be the Clark sisters, blah, 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 blah. But they put it out there. That was their single. That was their final single for the album, which is Fearless, which is out now, which debuted at number 3 on the Billboard charts for 2 weeks in a row. What am I saying? They had a build. They had a strategy. They put out an older song that people remember. Like, oh, okay, remember this from this album back then? Then they put out something new that nobody knew, but it still had that. So walk it, da, 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 da. And people was like, okay, I can get with this. I can get with this. And then what they did was the single before the album out, they put out a remake of a Clark Sisters song, Miracles. I'm looking for a miracle. I can't sing, but whatever. You know the song. And that was the thing. People know the song. And people was like, oh, they redid the Clark Sisters. Some people were like, they redid the Clark Sisters. But no, they got the Clark Sisters blessing, and they redid the Clark Sisters song. And guess what? Boom. When the album came out to drop on the 26th of February, that joint shot straight up and made it to number 3. You look on the Billboard charts, it's still stuck at number 3. All right? And I want to say stuck because number 3 is a dope place to be when you haven't done an album in 10 years. Get me? So, we got a lot of fluctuations going on today. So, you want to build a marketing campaign that will allow you to get people to know when exactly your stuff drops. All right. It's not necessarily all about having a launch party and having this. And do not, by any means, do not oversaturate the market with singles. Now, during the new music screening this past Friday, we had an artist up there who submitted a track, and it was a dope track. But 2 months ago, they sent me another track, which was a dope track, which we had it in heavy rotation, and I made them choose. Listen, I can either play this song or I can play this song. And the reason being is because I am not going to oversaturate my airtime with one artist. It makes it look like we're in total full. I mean, we support almost everybody. Even if we say that your song isn't ready, we're still supporting you by telling you what to do when you're, But you don't want to oversaturate the market with your singles. You put too much music out there, people are going to get tired of you really quick. You need to build anticipation. Okay? So, along with your marketing scheme, you need to select 2 singles at the most, maybe 3 at the most. One that you put out way ahead of time, and after that's ran its course after a number of months. Remember, this is the United States of America with the amount of FM radio stations, AM radio stations, internet radio stations. There's still a chance that a large portion of the country has not heard your music yet. So just because it's been out for 2 months does not mean by any stretch of the imagination that it's played out. Secular radio keeps songs in there for years. Okay? For years. You can still hear truffle butter on the thing, or supposed to be, or there are do you only play gospel Christian radio tracks? Yes, we are a Christian hip hop urban gospel radio station. So that's all we play. However, my tips are not necessarily my tips are industry tips. They're not necessarily for gospel Christian radio. What I'm saying to you right now, if you do secular music, what I'm saying to you right now works for secular music as well. All right. But I really do this to enrich the body. That's pretty much my goal here. Because a lot of these practices aren't used by a lot of Christian and gospel artists. But back to my point. Singles last on radio. If it's good, what do I think about Christian Grey? I'll tell you what I think about Christian Grey. Picasso, Da Vinci, Mozart. Christian Grey album is art. He didn't stick to his singing, I'm on Kurt Franklin's label now, so I got to sing more. He didn't sit there and go to, well, you know what? I got to be the different, so I got to stick to rapping. What Christian Grey was, he stuck with Christian Grey. And I love that he stuck with Christian Grey, because I still believe that School of Roses is a classic. I'm putting this one under School of Roses. I don't think it's as good as School of Roses. But he has some definite memorable tracks. I think he's not the best MC. I'll be clear and concise on that. He's not the best MC. However, he ain't the worst MC either. All right? The dude's stuff is solid. He blends his singing and his rapping abilities together with his production masterfully. All right? To the point where it tells a story and you can only consider it as art. Christian Grey's The Glory album is art. I love it. I love it. I'm going to write my review for gospelflavor.com on that joint. That review will be coming from me. So just kind of watch for that when it gets posted. All right, back on track. So we covered your singles. We covered your marketing. All right. No, we didn't. We're covering part of the marketing. Next thing is, as far as your marketing is concerned, you have to be creative with your marketing. All right. Spamming people, I say this all the time, almost every day, and I'm not going to dwell on it, but I'm going to say it because I have to say it. Spamming people on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, tagging people with the link is not real marketing. It's not effective marketing. It is annoying. I have a three strike rule. I will ask you not to tag me in any of your stuff. If you continue to tag me in your stuff, I'm going to say, bro, I asked you not to tag me in your stuff. If I continue to get tagged in your stuff, I'm unfriending you and I'm unfollowing you and I'm blocking you. Because my page is not your billboard. I am a radio station. I charge for advertisement. If you want to advertise, hit me up. I can talk to you about advertising packages on C1 Radio. All right? I can talk to you about advertising packages on C1 TV. Somebody sent me their mixtape after they wished me a happy birthday. Yo, I hate that. I hate that. that type of stuff, sending stuff in wall posts and stuff like that is not effective marketing. It's called guerrilla marketing. Guerrilla marketing is one of the most grimy. That's next to telemarketing. When I'm just cold calling you, want to sell you some some solar panel for your house, and I'm still in a freaking 2-bedroom apartment. Like, do you even research who you're marketing to when you market? You have to do that. All right. When you're marketing your stuff, you have to make sure that you're marketing to the right people. Don't go to a quartet band's Facebook page to post up, yo, my new album's dropping this Friday. If you're a hip hop artist, if you're a quartet group, don't go to a hip hop page saying, make sure this will bless your souls on, you know how they talk. All right. Don't go doing that type of stuff. That's wrong. It's wrong. People will unfriend you. You will lose people to market to rather than gain people to market to. Find a clever way to market your album. Do a video. Do viral marketing, which is something that's interactive on a weekly or daily basis. Do something like that. If you do not know how to do these things, then consult a marketing or management team. I happen to be a part of a marketing management team. If you want to know how to do stuff like that, or if you want to know what is the best way to go, I can talk to you in detail. Just get at me, hit me up with an email at c1radiomgmt@gmail.com. Once again, that's c1radiomgmt@gmail.com. If you want to have a detailed strategy put out for you, and this is where we can go. Last but not least, stay in your lane. All right? Don't try to be like anybody else. Don't try to stomp on anybody else. Stay in your lane. You are the person who does your music. You are the person who knows where you want your music to reach, even though we want everybody to buy it. However, if you're marketing it the wrong way to the wrong people, to the wrong platforms, and to the wrong formats, you're doing this for nothing. You have to do your research and find out who you're marketing to. All right. Those things, if you do those things, you will more than likely have a successful Friday launch. All right. No more of this. I'm just going to drop it on iTunes, and when iTunes tell me it's ready, it's going to be ready, and we're just going to sell it. Let's stop doing that, because you're going to have a horrible opening week. And once you have a horrible opening week, you will move to the bottom of the priority of what platforms want to show people, because iTunes and Amazon and all these other digital platforms, they maintain the hot commodities when people go in to buy something else. Or if somebody does buy something else, you'll be in, well, this is recommended for you. In order for you to be there, you have to be a hot commodity. And if you don't market your stuff dead right, you're not going to be a hot commodity at all. All right. So those are my quick tips. Once again, if you want a consultation and you want to know how to do things the right way, or help me put together a strategy, help me get my stuff to radio, help me, throughout this process, at any part of this process, you can always hit us up with an email at c1radiomgmt@gmail.com. Once again, that's c1radiomgmt@gmail.com. All right, guys. Crazy one. I'm out. This is your artist tip for this week. Man, listen, we're going to be back on Periscope more frequently. We're going to be doing a few more things. All right. So don't go, don't go too far. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. Make sure you're following us on Facebook and all that good stuff. Keep it crazy. Keep it live. Be out of here. Peace.